You know, as often as you get walked in on, one must think, do you get walked in on doing other things?
Oh.
Sorry.
So to start this podcast off, we're going to talk about that. Has anybody ever been walked in on at a bad time? That's a great topic.
Yes.
Good job.
No.
Neither have I. I've never had that happen. Ever.
Although I can't even begin to imagine how that would actually just...
I don't know. I know Pud's got some stories, though.
Oh, Jesus.
Pud is not going to share these stories.
I'm sure he's
and
got
have them
stories.
on the internet.
Fair enough.
Needless to say, yes, I have been walked in on in different states of, for lack of a better term, red-handed and or having my pants down. But... By who? By who? You really... One, I said try not to interrupt. Two, there's the time that we were doing things that we shouldn't have been doing, and your grandfather literally walked into your room and said, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Wow.
That's... Exactly.
Alright, well, welcome to the Game Crew Podcast, rebooted, episode 1. If anybody on my channel watched my old ones and you wondered why I took them down or stopped uploading them, it's because they were very inappropriate. What we just talked about was, like, very minor in comparison to some of the stuff we said on that podcast. So, this will not be like that. It won't be nearly as graphic, or have as colorful of language as the last one did. We're just going to talk about regular shit, you know? Video games, current events for the most part. Tread lightly there, but just dumb shit. Just going to bullshit it. We got Puddin' Cup here. You guys probably know him by now. We've got Reeves. You've never been on my channel before. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I don't think I have. So, I'm Reeves. My name's also Cody, but y'all can call me Reeves. I'm 19, you know. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Ready to mingle.
I always forget that you're 19. I always think you're the same age as us.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, that's pretty much the group. Pud, you wanna interject and add into what you had already discussed about yourself earlier? First impressions mean everything. I'm just saying, because right now, the first impressions of you on my channel is that
is me getting walked in on by my girlfriend's grandfather.
Yeah, and actually, I take that back. Pud, the first time you were ever on the channel was all the way back in 2014 when we did a Would You Rather.
Yeah, those were fucked. We're not doing any of those, so you might as well cross that off your fucking list.
It's not.
I was gonna say, because the last time we did something like this, you specifically brought those back because I was in the video, and I remember that distinctly, bitch.
I don't remember that, but yeah, those were great.
I have the body and the memory of an elephant, so I remember everything.
So.
What? Okay. Alright.
We're all thick boys here, Girth Squad.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about games. Let's talk about the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. I know that Pud and I are probably more in the the PlayStation 5 quarter than you are, Reeves. I want to hear your reasoning I want to hear from a legitimate Xbox fan through and through why you want an Xbox over a PlayStation.
Well, actually, it's kind of ironic because I'm on my PS4 right now, but see, you think I haven't watched anything for the Xbox Series X, if I'm going to be really brutally honest. I've seen PS5's video, their live stream, and just based off that, I'm honestly thinking about getting the PS5 first, which you guys might be like, whoa, but my reason being is because Spider-Man, literally, get to play as Miles fucking Morales, and the first Spider-Man game was just amazing.
So,
and then, yeah, it's just...
I'm gonna come back to that after you're done. I'm gonna come back to the Spider-Man thing after you're done, but keep going.
But yeah, I mean, I can't say for sure what I'm gonna get first. I have to watch Xbox's what they have to or what they're bringing to the table first, and then I'll compare. But as far as it goes right now, I'm actually leaning towards the PS5. So
Xbox already did their reveal for their games.
yeah, I haven't watched it yet. Literally, my whole Twitter was blowing up about the PS5. So
they did it like I think they did theirs in the beginning of May. And pretty much I can sum it up for you. None of them were like big titles. Like there wasn't any like super impressive exclusives. It was all like third party stuff, with the exception of Halo, Gears, and Forza. They kind of like insinuated that Forza was going to be there. So those three were pretty much their selling point as far as games go. And then everything else, there wasn't a single game. Well, to be completely honest, there wasn't a single game during the entire thing that I saw that I was interested in. If they would have shown Forza, I probably would have wanted that. But they didn't show a single game that I wanted through the entire thing, which, you know, to me, it's just like, I want to get both consoles, but like, why do I want to get both consoles? You know? I can't really find a reason.
Well, go continue.
I was just going to ask Pud where he stands. I want to know his opinions on it. I think his are pretty close to mine, but
I'm probably only going to get the PS5 because, I mean, I've had at some point every PlayStation console except for the very first PlayStation X, I believe it was, that came out before the PS1.
The one I had the one. Nintendo.
Yeah, I had the 1, 2, 3, 4. I have the 4 now. I plan on getting the 5. I know that I believe the UK Amazon accidentally leaked what they were pricing their PS5 on, which it might change, I don't know. It didn't sound that far, really, out of the norm. When converted over, it was like $460 to $500 US dollars. So
both consoles, what would be the price where you would say, I'm absolutely not getting that? Like, let's speak hypotheticals here, right? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I plan on buying the consoles right away at launch, almost regardless of whatever the cost is. What would be the price for you guys to say, nope, not doing it?
$600 for just the console.
How about you, Reeves?
Yeah, probably same. I mean, honestly, yeah, 600 sounds about right.
Like, 500 I could see. I think I bought my 1 terabyte PlayStation and 2 or 3 games and 2 controllers from GameStop, brand new, for like, what was it, like $550, something like that. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine with that. That's a really good price. I have everything I want. I got like 1 or 2 literally just released games, 1 terabyte PlayStation. I'm fucking set. But I feel like anything that's $600 for just the console and obviously a controller, I feel like that's just too much. That's like 3 months worth of car payments. I couldn't in good conscience spend that on just a console.
Here's my prediction. I think that the disc version of so there's 2 different types of Xboxes, which I'll get into that too, but as far as the PS5 goes, the disc version that has the disc drive, I think is going to be $599. And I think the discless version is going to either be $499 or $549. I think it's going to be $50 to $100 off. And then the Xbox, I think they're going to be cheaper than the PlayStation. I think that's why they haven't announced theirs yet, because they want to undershoot it to try to sell as many consoles as they can. Because both of these... So what Xbox did in the last console release is they tried to make their money on the console, and they priced it higher. And PlayStation said, we're going to produce our consoles at a deficit, and we're going to make our money back on the games. Well, I think that Xbox realizes that they fucked up there, and I think they're going to try to do the same method as PlayStation, but I think they're going to cut it way lower. So I think they're probably going to come out at like $450-ish to the $500 range. But Xbox also has a second console that's coming at launch, but it's going to be a digital-only console, but it's also going to be graphically, in comparison, it's going to be very similar to like the PlayStation 4 Pro in terms of graphic ability. So I think they're going to try to sell it on name alone, which their branding isn't very good at this point. Like, Xbox Series X. I don't get why they would do that, but I think that they're going to try to sell it that way. That's my opinion.
I mean,
Go ahead.
Do you think they're going to come out, since they had the PS4 Pro, do you think they could come out with a PS5 Pro or something like that? Or do you think that they've hit the current ceiling of technical advancements to put in a console?
Right now, I guarantee you they're already working on the PS5 Pro.
probably.
I would say
definitely.
probably within 2 years of the console's release, 1.5 to 2 years, we'll have a PS5 Pro release. Within 6 months to a year, we'll have a PS5 Slim.
Oh, wasn't that just the digital?
No. The digital version is because they want to try to shut down the used game market. Speaking of which, GameStop is going to hurt from this.
Oh yeah, big time.
Like,
I mean,
this
they're
is,
already
I think this
they're
is gonna
already
be,
hurt.
You know what, dude? So when I went and picked up my copy of The Last of Us 2 tonight, you know what they told me? They said because of the coronavirus, the manufacturers that were making The Last of Us 2, they only made physical copies for people who pre-ordered it. They didn't make copies to like sit on the shelf.
Damn.
So GameStop, they gave me a receipt and they circled it and they told me that if I complete the game and I bring it back within the next 2 days, they'll give me my full fucking... They'll give me all the money I spent on it back.
Like
Holy shit.
the 60 or the entire
Full
pre-order?
60.
Do you plan to do that, even if you
I don't
do
think
beat it
I'll be
within the next
able
2
to,
days?
otherwise I would. If I could, then I would, but I don't think I'll be able to. But because you know what they want to do is they want to get people to bring the game back, and then they want to turn around and put it on the shelf as a used copy. Because they're going to give it to me as an in-store credit, which I'm cool with, because I'll just turn around and put that towards the next game that I'm going to buy, which is going to be Ghost of Tsushima. So it's smart. It's a pretty good deal. If you didn't record it and have to edit videos and everything, for people who could just literally sit there and play it, like, that's a hell of a deal.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think GameStop is going to hurt from the discless consoles. Interested to see how that goes. I really like
Speaking
GameStop, but
I would say, speaking of discless, what is your preference as of right now, disc or discless?
I'm starting to lean towards discless, but I don't think I'm going to be comfortable to take that leap when the consoles come out, and I'm pretty sure I'm still going to buy a disc console.
I mean, for years already, I've been discless, so I honestly won't have an issue with going discless.
Get it. I'd have to go with disc just because. Well, if you can still play PS4 games on the PS5, I have PS4 games that I would like to play on the PS5.
Yeah, which you can. I mean, that's cool too, but I don't know. The discless thing worries me because it's like there's been a lot of games that I've bought used, and the only time you get games cheap digitally are if they're on sale. Otherwise, they charge them motherfuckers full price.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm scared about going all digital. It's because I'm at the expense of the developers at that point, and Sony on if they're gonna do any discounts, not third party shit like GameStop.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know. I just feel like there's some shady business on everybody's end, Microsoft and Sony, when it comes to digital exclusives. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I don't have internet, well, actually I know for a fact, when I don't have internet on PlayStation 4, you can't play any of your digital downloaded games.
Which is dumb, but I guess it also kind of makes sense.
Well, the reason why they do that, and this is what I don't like, the reason it's like that is because you only lease the game. You only get access to the game if you are using their console. I don't remember how it was explained, but you don't actually own it. They can revoke it at any time.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah, it's the same way on the Xbox. When I got the first Xbox One, I had purchased, but this was worse because it was a disc. I had purchased something Rome. I can't remember the name of the game, but I was playing it and our internet went out, and I went to go boot up the game, and it wouldn't let me play it because it said I didn't own the product because I couldn't connect to the internet.
Like it specifically said, because you don't own the product?
Yeah, it said, you do not own the license to this product. Connect to the internet to whatever the fuck, move forward or whatever. So basically it wanted to verify that my console had permission to play that game. And it's sketchy, dude.
I'm going to do an experiment. I'm going to turn off the Wi-Fi on my PlayStation and try and boot up Wreckfest. Wreckfest I bought digitally. Let's see what happens.
Personally, I've never had an issue with it. There's been times where I've like gone somewhere and brought my Xbox and I didn't have Wi-Fi and I was able to play my games.
I had issues with both. Now, maybe my problem with the PlayStation, maybe it was because at the time my PlayStation, what's it called? You could like set your PlayStation as your preferred console. I don't know how to explain it. I had Corey's console set as my primary console, and my PS4 was set as his primary. So that way, I never had to pay for PlayStation Plus. So right. I don't know if maybe because the internet was out, it couldn't verify that I had a primary console, so then it wasn't letting me play my shit, but I don't know. Even so, that's still stupid. If I downloaded it and it's on the console, and I own the rights to it, like, because I fucking paid $60 to play it, I should be able to play it no matter what.
Exactly. It's like, you bought the game, it should just be yours already. Like, and I'm not saying like just because I haven't had it happen to me, I don't believe it. Because honestly, that seems like something Sony and Microsoft would do. So I don't know. Now I'm kind of like thinking about not going discless. I mean, I guess it all comes around to how much I have at the time of release.
Yeah, that's the other thing too.
If I can afford it, like the discless version, but I can't afford the disc, then I'm going to go with the
other thing is like if they really want to push hard to get people to buy discless, it needs to be like $100 off or like $150, like a huge price difference. And you have to think like the cost of those disc drives has to be a lot because it's a 4K Blu-ray disc drive. Like that sounds expensive as fuck.
Exactly.
So I mean, if they like cut their costs on the console and don't make any money off the console, and do what they did with the PS4, they could really sell a lot of those digital only consoles. I might end up buying one at that point.
Yeah, dude. Like, I don't know. Like I said,
we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens.
Exactly.
I mentioned earlier about Spider-Man. They did announce that game is not a sequel.
Yeah, no, I know.
It is. It's an expansion of the first game. It's very similar to. Did you play the Infamous franchise?
No, I can't say that I have.
I know RT did. RT, you played Infamous, right?
I played like an hour of Infamous 2 on the PS3, and that's it. I wouldn't say I played it. No.
Oh shit! I thought you played all of it. Well,
fuck no.
So they came out with Infamous First Light, which was like the smaller game of its own with its own characters that was fleshed out and everything. It just wasn't as big. It wasn't as long. The campaign is only gonna be about 10 hours, and it's gonna be set in the same like time period, I guess, like the same like universe. It's not gonna be like this huge new giant experience. And I think that it's very important to explain that to people before it launches, because people are going to be disappointed going into it if they think that's what it's going to be and it's not.
Right.
I also think that if that's the case, that the game needs to be $40.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, I loved it so much. I love the first one that I don't care. I'll pay full price for it.
I mean, I'm going to still pay full price, but I think that it should be $40, to be fair. They already said it's not as big, it's not as long, there's not a whole lot of new stuff, it's just a new story around Miles.
Well, dude, then they should just release a whole game, like Spider-Man.
Well, so what they did with Infamous was they released Infamous 1, Infamous 2, and then they did Infamous First Light as like this like in-between, and then the year after that they dropped Infamous Second Son, was that what it was called? The third Infamous game, something like that. And that was what they did, is they did these like smaller releases in like the middle, which I could appreciate that. It's just price them accordingly. Don't expect me to pay the same amount for this smaller game that you already said is smaller as I would for like the full big experience, you know? Like the first Spider-Man game was phenomenal. That's like
Oh yeah,
that's like top 10 best games of all time for me.
facts. Actually, that was my like game of the year for like 2 years until I beat Days Gone.
See, you know what's crazy is not The Last of Us, Spider-Man and Red Dead Redemption 2 came out the same year. And like I can't put one above the other. Like it's so hard.
I never got to finish Red Dead Redemption 2 because people spoiled it for me, and
That sucks.
I got so close to the end, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this happens," and I'm like, "Cool, great, that's fucking awesome. Way to just blue ball me." Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So I never finished it.
What's your guys's, since the PS4 and the Xbox One have been out, what are your guys' top 5 favorite games?
Say that again. You cut out.
Yeah, you cut out.
Since the PS5 or PS4 and the Xbox One have released, so since 2013, what are your guys' top 5 favorite games?
RT, do you want to go first?
Do they have to be in any sequential order? Or can they just be random?
They
Like
can just be random.
ones that we really liked.
Yeah, they can just be random.
I'd say I've only had a PS4 like 2 years, but in the time I really loved Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Really loved it.
Ooh,
Loved the
yeah.
fucking hell out of it. RDR2. That game got me in the feels a few times, and if a game can do that, I love it. Black Flag did it. Yeah.
So RDR2, Black Flag. Is that all you got?
I'd have to say right now Horizon Zero Dawn is up there. I just don't know where. Because it's such a pretty fucking game. And I love good story-driven games. Spider-Man is obviously up there. That one I should have said just immediately.
Yeah.
So-
There's 4.
What are yours, Reeves?
I would say for PS4,
Yeah.
because I have both, it would, without a doubt, Spider-Man, Days Gone, and MLB The Show. Those 3 right there are just Sony exclusives, and those are really the only 3 games I have a PS4 for.
Well, I mean, it could be your Xbox too. Like it doesn't.
Oh
have
no,
to
I
be
know.
just
I'm
PlayStation
getting.
4.
I know. I'm getting into that. And then for Xbox, I really enjoyed Red Dead Redemption 2 because that's what I played it on. Even though I didn't finish the story, I thought the story was great. And then Assassin's Creed, Black Flag, awesome. Batman, all the Batman games, I played all those on the Xbox, and then obviously Forza. And I would say right now, Jedi Fallen Order is probably one of the best games that I've played.
I haven't played that game, but I hear really good things about it.
It's a little short. It's a lot. In my opinion, it should have been a lot
I kind
longer.
of expect that.
I
But-
100% agree.
But I, without a doubt, think that EA is stepping in the right direction to make a good Star Wars game. So I'm actually really excited for Squadrons that just got announced. So yeah, as far as that goes, Jedi Fallen Order is probably my top 1 out of the Xbox games that I played. Even though it's on both, but
So mine would definitely be Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption 2, Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm going to put this in here as like an entire franchise because they're all pretty much the same, aside from the stories, obviously. But the Tomb Raider series that they redid, really fucking good. And Detroit Become Human. Like, Detroit Become Human, that game was so fucking good. And people don't really talk about it a lot, but I think it's just because the game played so much different than what you would expect a game to play. and then I think that The Last of Us 2 is going to knock one of those games out of that top 5. Probably the Tomb Raider series, honestly. But
I never got to finish Detroit Become Human. I think I got like halfway, but like it was really fun, and I should honestly finish it.
I didn't get to finish Days Gone. I don't even think I was halfway. I need to go back and play that. I sold it. I need to repurchase it. There was something about the game I didn't like. The story was fine, but it was the mechanics, and maybe I just didn't get used to them. The problem with that game is it was one of the games where I would play it, and then I would put it down, and then I wouldn't touch it for like 2 months. Then I would come back to it, and it was always hard to like get into.
So, I can tell you that when I first bought it, I played it for a little bit, and then I put it down, and I didn't pick it up again because at the time it was bad timing. MLB The Show, I think 19 just came out, and obviously you know me, I play that game like all the time. But once I started actually like getting back into it, I couldn't put it down at all. Like I took a big break from MLB The Show. Keep playing because the story will literally suck you in. The only issue that I had was the bike. That's really the only thing.
That's one of the big ones. Is the bike mechanics are trash, dude.
I mean, honestly, they're not in the beginning. It's bad when you don't know how to play, but once you play for a while, you get used to it and you know how to control it and when to turn and do all these things.
Yeah, I did get used to it towards the end of me playing it, but I just still remember the whole time just not like it. It just felt like I was driving a fucking boat everywhere.
Yeah, that's the only thing that it wasn't a big deal to me. I thought besides that, everything was fine. Like,
the other complaint that I had about that game was the game was released as like this is another giant Sony like exclusive title, like top-notch shit, right? But graphically, I was not that impressed. Like, it still looked good. It looked better than a lot of other games. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But for it to be up there with like the Sony exclusive titles, like next to Horizon and The Last of Us and Spider-Man, I don't feel like the graphics held up to those games. Like,
definitely. Well, I'll say this, man. When Days Gone got announced, I didn't even have a PS4. But when I was watching those videos of it at E3, the graphics looked amazing, and
they looked way better. They looked way better in the trailers.
Yeah, and I'm like, what got lost in translation? Like, where did? Because like you said, it did not look bad at all, but it could have looked a lot better. Which
I agree.
By the way, I don't want to say too much, but if they ever do get around to making a better, like not a better, but like another Days Gone,
I think they will.
Too, it's going to look a lot better. I'm pretty sure the driving mechanics are going to be a lot better because I mean if they're not already working on it, by the time they start working on it, they'll have a lot more time to really kind of tweak all that stuff.
That game sold pretty well, if I remember correctly. I want them to make another one. Like, I don't hate the game. I
loved it.
Like, based off of what I played, the story was the most compelling part, but there was just, I don't know, it just felt like it could have been a lot more fleshed out in a lot of ways.
What do you mean?
Just the overall, like, interaction with stuff. It felt very basic. Once you got access to the world, it felt very basic. Like, go into these locations.
Yeah.
This one thing, like.
I mean, well, the thing that, I mean, honestly, people might get upset at this, but I didn't focus. What I do, I'm weird. I like to play through the game, know what the story is, and then play it a second time, and then actually, like, so I didn't do any of the story, like the sidelines, or the side stories. I only did those if it tied into the main storyline.
See, I'm the opposite. When I play the game, I like to do all of the side quests and stuff, like kind of as I go, but I like to make sure I do the majority of them before I finish the game.
Yeah, and actually, there's a point in time where you actually get locked out of the main region, and so me being an idiot, I'm just like, yep, let's go, and then I'm like, oh shit, that means I can't do all of the side missions that I was supposed to do. So that was where I messed up, but that's honestly okay because it didn't affect the story at all. And the only reason why I didn't care about it for this game is because I have been waiting so long. This was the game because this was like before I realized that MLB The Show was the only baseball game that I could play. So that was the only game at the time that I really wanted a PS4 for. So I just wanted to know what the story was.
So I'll tell you where I left off in the game, and I won't say specifically because I know Put hasn't played it yet, and I think he would really enjoy that game. But
I think he would.
The last area that I played was he had just, I can't remember his name. What's the main character's name again?
Deacon.
Is it? Yeah. Okay. So Deacon had found out, or potentially found out, that a particular person.
Yep. Nope. Say no more. Say no more. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
that was where I
know
left off. How close to the end am I from there?
Oh, you've got a long way to go, buddy.
Yeah, I thought so.
But hey, listen, that's really where the story starts picking up, and it's like, okay, shit, now I need to know because with that game, with that game, I had no idea when to put the controller down because every time I'd finish a mission, I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna get off now. I'm gonna relax.
Dude, that's the
and then all of a sudden, it's like, bam, you can't.
When you go to play The Last of Us, keep in mind that The Last of Us is not a open world game. That's
honestly probably better for me.
It goes from it's literally a movie, dude. It seamlessly transitions from one thing to another. There's no like, oh, walk around here and do this for a while and then go to this objective to start the next mission. It's like you're in the main mission the whole time. It never stops.
Good. Yeah, honestly, from what I've seen, I am definitely going to look into it because a lot of people have said, yo, you gotta, it's $20.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap. It's not real expensive.
Yeah, I might actually cop that. But yeah, a lot of people have said like, oh dude, if you enjoy Days Gone, you're gonna enjoy The Last of Us. And I'm like,
love it, dude.
I'm gonna keep that in mind with an open mind because I never was really one for like games like this until I started realizing that until basically like Days Gone got announced and like Spider-Man, and then I'm like, okay, these are fun, so I can only imagine what the other ones are going to be like.
Those games are the reason that I love PlayStation. If those games did not exist and Call of Duty's exclusivity was with Xbox and it ran better on Xbox, I would have an Xbox.
Well, that ties into what I said about the PS5. Like I said, there's a lot of games that are only Sony exclusives where I won't have access to that on the Xbox Series X. So that's why I'm leaning towards getting a PS5 first. Which honestly blew my mind that I can't even believe I said that because I have nothing. I have no opinion on which one's better. I enjoy them both because they both do their part for different reasons. That being said, though,
I just can't see Xbox's like place in the I feel like Sony has its distinct we have the super good movie-like games that you can play, and we have 6 different franchises, 7, God of War, Uncharted, The Last of Us, Horizon Zero Dawn, Spider-Man, fucking games like Detroit that pop up every now and then, Days Gone, those are all Sony exclusives, and there's nothing that compares to those, that level on Xbox. Xbox has Halo, so diehard Halo fans, I get it. But at that point, your PC can play Halo now. Your PC can play Gears of War now. Your PC can play Forza now. What leg do they have to stand on?
Well, like I said, I'm honestly, that's really the reason why, is because I can't believe I'm saying this. After Need for Speed Payback, I didn't think that a Need for Speed game was going to be fun after what they've been releasing. But ever since playing Need for Speed, or Need for Speed Heat, I can't go back to Forza Horizon 4 because I just have not enjoyed Forza. So, with that being said, there's nothing left on the table that I enjoy that Xbox only exclusively offers. I'm not a Halo fan. I haven't played Halo since Halo Reach. But if I'm being really honest, I haven't played Halo since the original Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I liked Need for Speed Heat, and the only reason I would buy an Xbox at this point is for Forza. But what's weird is like I just like I don't know what I feel like the only people who defend Xbox to its like not seeing both sides of the fight are people who are just Xbox fans. Like they're just holding on to the past. Because even the multiplayer titles, the 3 biggest multiplayer games that aren't on PC that are in the market right now for the most part, Fortnite, Call of Duty, GTA, they all have deals with Sony. Like, I want Xbox to be good. I want there to be the equivalent of what's on PlayStation as far as story games to be on Xbox, so I have a reason to buy an Xbox. I want that. It just doesn't exist right now.
I mean, for me, I'm still gonna buy an Xbox, like I said, and if I can afford both, that's awesome. Like I said, I'm still gonna do some research, but right now, I will tell you this: the only reason I would get an Xbox Series X right now is if my main group of friends that I play video games with are not getting a PS5 in the time where, like in a good time frame, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To where I wouldn't be able to play with them for so long. Like, that's it.
But
right now.
What's your stance on all this?
I don't see any games that Xbox offers as exclusives tempting enough to even consider getting an Xbox.
Yeah, that's kind of
I played a Forza game on an Xbox One a little bit. It was fun, but you know, I can get other racing games that also scratch that same itch.
Did you see that they announced a new Crash Bandicoot game? Like an actual new one?
I did. Crash Bandicoot 4, it's about time or something like that.
Yeah, I figured you'd be excited about that.
That is the kind of shit I want. Like,
bring back Jack.
On the PS2, there was a game called Jak, spelled J-A-K. There was 3 main games, a game that came out after them that wasn't that story driven, and then like some piece of shit game that came out. I don't even care if they never make a new game, just please re-fucking master that game series.
Yeah,
they did it with Crash, they did it with Spyro, it was the same producer as fucking The Last of Us and Uncharted. If I was a millionaire, I would personally fund the game just so I could have the only copy.
Those games were good. You're the one who got me hooked on those. I want them to release a new one, but I would also like to see a remaster.
Yeah, I wish that certain games could get remastered, or that they could just, I don't know, remake them, or not even remake them, just make new versions, just like they did with Modern Warfare. MX Unleashed on the PS2, I have nothing but fond memories of that.
Yeah, I remember those good old days. That weird ass map where if like you drove all the way to the end, it like shot you all the way back.
Yeah, the music would slowly die off, and then there'd be a loud cannon, and your guy would go flying through the air.
Yeah, those are good times, dude. But you're the reason. You were a lot of the reason that I ended up getting into a lot of the games that I did.
I have mostly my mom and my sisters to thank for that. My dad only ever played like football games and hunting games, which I don't have any of because I'm just not that into them. But my mom is originally the one that got the Jak games. She's the one that got the Ratchet and Clank games. My sister's boyfriend gave me my first GTA at the age of 8. It was GTA Vice City. Horrible decision, but I love him for it.
My first GTA I got when I was in first grade. How old would I have been in first grade?
Like 6 or 7.
Dude, I had to have been like 6. I was a little ass kid. It was San Andreas, I think. I think that was the first one I played.
But yeah, that's... And then I was thinking about this while you guys were talking. I forgot completely about Fallen Order until Ryu said something. There were 2, maybe 3 problems I had with that game, and that's more so because of who made it and not because of what it was made about.
Oh, EA is a dumpster fire. Can we all admit that?
Yep,
Yes,
after playing Battlefront 2, dumpster fire.
During the PS2, PS3 days, there was a Star Wars series called Star Wars The Force Unleashed. I
Oh,
believe.
I think they remastered those, bud.
they did. They did.
Did they?
The problem
Yes.
The problem is that in those games, if you did lightsaber damage, you chopped off a stormtrooper's fucking arm. And it was realistic, because we've seen what happens when someone gets hit with a fucking lightsaber in the movies. They lose their arm. But in Fallen Order, you could wail on someone, and they would just stand there like you smacked them with a fucking whipple bat.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you're a stormtrooper, you shouldn't take this much damage. And then the length of it, I wish they had a DLC or something, because it was so good, but that story ended so fast.
I feel like I could talk all night about Star Wars. I am a critic of Star Wars, and I want to explain that real quick here, because up until about December of 2019, I had never watched an entire Star Wars movie. Then something crawled up inside me and said, you know what, Cody? Instead of just criticizing these movies, you need to watch them. So that way you can see if you actually genuinely like them. And I did watch them, and I liked them more than I thought I was going to. But I will say right now, Star Wars is not that great. It's good. It's better than a lot of other stuff. I can see why it has fans. But for me personally, it didn't grip me the way something like the Marvel Cinematic Universe does. That in particular is what I usually compare it to. I don't know. Maybe it's just a product of its time, but...
Well, I'm gonna have to disagree, because I'm literally one of the biggest Star Wars nerds you'll ever meet in your life. Currently, I'm actually rewatching the series.
The three most recent movies.
I will say those are not as good, but they definitely, in my opinion, hold their own. Except for The Last Jedi, that was fucking. Don't know what that was.
That's where we're different. I think the 3 most recent movies were the best ones out of the entire fucking thing.
I think that's just because they're technologically better.
Yeah,
like,
I think they look better, obviously, but I think the acting is better. Yeah. I think that the storyline, for the most part, not all of it, it's kind of convoluted in some ways, but for the most part, I think the storyline's better. Those things, for me, make a good movie. You know, the way it's shot is better. And that's why I think the reason I don't like the original Star Wars as much, I don't hate them, I have more respect for them than I used to, is just because they're a product of their time.
Well, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Because back in the 70s, obviously, I mean, in the 70s, they were ahead of their time.
They were. They really were.
And a lot of people like to criticize the prequels as they were terrible, but honestly, they're not. After rewatching them, they're not that bad, and the actors who got a lot of hate for it should not have gotten as much hate as they did. And I think a lot of people will come to...
The only actor that I thought was dog shit from the prequels was Anakin.
Hayden Christensen, he is always flat in every role he has.
So
well, the thing about Anakin's role is it's tricky, because with Anakin, he's not supposed to be some adult. You know, he's supposed to be a whiny little bitch. And that's exactly what he was in the movies, and that's why a lot of people don't like him, because he was the good guy, portrayed to be the good guy, but he was actually the bad guy, and that's why a lot of people don't like him, is because he was weird and he was just whiny, and that's why.
I know that's why a lot of people didn't like him. I remember seeing those comments when I would like Google stuff about it. My complaint was that every time I saw him on screen, I felt like, oh, he's acting. He's being an actor right now. And in comparison to Obi-Wan, was that his name, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. He did a phenomenal job, in my opinion. I never once felt like he was acting. I felt like he was him. Whereas Hayden Christensen, I was like, oh, this dude's acting. He's an actor.
But
I get it.
mindfuck, did he do that on purpose? Because Anakin was acting to be good.
But he wasn't acting to be good. He was fighting within himself.
And that's another reason too. Is like it's kind of hard because these are all opinions at the end of the day. Like nobody's truly right, other than the man who created it himself.
I was gonna say I can think of one person that could be exactly right.
I'm saying between the three of us, you could like him, you could hate him, you could be neutral. At the end of the day, we're all right. Nobody's really wrong. Because, like I said, what I said, very true. And what he said, what Warlord said, also very true. But, I don't know. I personally, I didn't mind. I do want to touch on one character, or a character, though, in particular, and that's Jar Jar Binks. I want to know what your guys' opinion.
Kind of annoying, but I didn't hate him. I didn't see why people hated him as much as they did.
Unneeded.
Wow, yeah. Go ahead.
I get having a comic relief for certain areas, like a comedic relief, if done right, really good. But just, I feel like he was too much.
I see. Well, what Jar Jar was there for is he was there. Well, actually, this might mindfuck you all. I don't know if you guys caught on to this, and you guys probably didn't. But Jar Jar, he was there. They went to his land, his planet, and he was supposed to be their servant, right? And that's why he was there. He wasn't there to just be some comedic. I mean, obviously they made him into some comedic value, but that wasn't all his role was for. And if you catch it, it's kind of hard to catch. But when the Palpatine, or not the Palpatine, when the Chancellor turns to the dark side and he's like ruling, you can see Jar Jar Binks with him as he's like executing Order 66 and whatnot. So he actually turns into a bad guy as well when that happens. So as much as he was supposed to be like a funny guy that they probably want him to be, he was actually more a bad guy than that. But a lot of people hated on him because of how annoying he was, and the actor got a lot of hate for it.
I did think he was kind of annoying, but like it wasn't a huge deal to me. I think that out of the prequels, what was the movie where, I think it was the second one out of the prequels, because I watched them in the order, not the order they released, but the order that they took place. So the second movie in the prequels, I think, was the one where Anakin and what's her name were having their whole love story shit.
Yep, that's Attack of the Clones. That's the second one.
Dude, the clone, everything that had to do with the clones was cool, but God, dude.
I will say that's the only part that I didn't like. Like,
hard to get through.
I hate this word, but it was just so funny at the time where this happened. When Anakin was kind of like confessing his love for Padme, he was like, "I would do anything. It hurts not being with you." And I'm like, "Damn, what a simp!" Like, it was just so cringy.
What you just said right there, the way you said that is exactly how he said it, and he's supposed to be a fucking actor. It wasn't. Oh, dude, it was rough.
Well, I was just trying to. Well. Let me catch myself. I was gonna say I was just trying to remember what he said. That just makes it sound worse. No,
it does,
I mean,
dude.
You guys also can't critique Hayden that much either, because it all boils down to who wrote the script.
I don't think it's the script as much as, like, I feel like he could have took what he was supposed to say, and if he was a better actor, he could have conveyed that in such a less, I'm acting kind of way. Like, I think back to all of the scenes where they're running through the fields of all the flowers and doing all that dumb shit, and I'm just like, oh my God, what am I fucking watching?
Yeah.
Those movies have great points. Like, I'm a fan of Star Wars to an extent now, so much so that, like, I want one of those, like, cool-ass lightsabers with, like, the rocks that you can change to make it glow different colors. I like Star Wars now. I want to play the games and stuff, but I just don't think it's as good as the culture has made it out to be. I could see why it was so widely loved back in the day. I just think that it's faded. You know, and I liked the new movies. I think that if they completely wiped the board and they said, okay, we're doing Star Wars again, we're starting over from scratch with the technology that we have now, it's, you know, a remake kind of, I think I'd probably like it a lot.
Well, let me cut you off right there. I have two things to say. First of all, I'm sorry, they're not rocks. They're called kyber crystals.
Oh my god.
Just keep that in mind. Anyways, you're in luck because that was the end of the Skywalker saga. 9 movies, no more Luke Skywalker, no more Darth Vader. Now they're going, I don't know if you remember, but with the original Xbox, they had a game called Knights of the Old Republic.
I know it by name, but I never played it.
Yeah, so they're going to be doing movies based around the Old Republic. So before,
I might like those. I'm definitely going to watch them. I'm invested now.
They have some cool characters, man. Like, you know how Mace Windu had the purple lightsaber?
Yeah.
Well, there's a guy named Darth. It's Ravon. It's not Raven, but it's like Ravon. He has a purple lightsaber. He actually has 2 of them. He has a red and a purple one, and I know he's going to be in it. But yeah, like people like Darth Bane or Darth Bane. I mean, I don't know what I said, but
Bane.
Yeah, it's going to be based around that. Like, it's going to be pre-Empire times and before Anakin and Padme.
I want to kind of wrap up the Star Wars talk, and I want to throw one more video game thing in here before we transition to the Reddit stuff that I want to talk about.
Sure.
First thing is I want you to play The Last of Us and then get The Last of Us 2. I think that's very important. But I also want you to play Horizon Zero Dawn. I just started playing that last weekend. My game is saved in the middle of the final mission of the game right now, and that game is so fucking good. I can't explain how good that game is. Definitely play that when you get a chance. It's on sale in the shop right now for like, how much is it? It's like $15 or something like that.
I'm assuming you said that game is so fucking good because you cut out right when you said that.
Yeah, the game is so fucking good, but it's on sale right now on the PlayStation Store for like $15. Definitely recommend buying it.
It's so pretty. It is so fucking pretty.
Yeah, it's beautiful,
like just
dude. The concept behind it is that it's a game that is set in a world in which our technology has advanced to the point where we basically go extinct because of it, in a way, and you are basically the rebirth of what's left of the human race, kind of like your whole group of people is, and you're basically trying to figure out what happened, why it happened, and how to stop the inevitable, quote unquote. So good. So fucking good. And you're fighting giant killer robot dinosaurs. It's fucking great.
I might pass on that.
See, that's what I thought too, but trust me. Just trust me.
I got it because I had my eye on it, and I bought it for like $20 from Walmart. And Cody already had his eye on it, and I was like, dude, oh, it's so good! That game and RDR2 are the only games where I can just stop doing something and just look and be like, God damn, this is fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, if I get it for free, then maybe, but if not, I'm most likely not going to buy it. Just putting that up there.
I get that the robot thing probably throws you off, because that's what my issue with it was when I first saw it. I was like, I don't know about fighting robot animal machine things. That sounds kind of lame. And that's why it took me so long to buy it. But it was always regarded as being one of the best games that ever released on the PlayStation 4. And I finally bought it, and wow, I was an idiot. It's fucking great.
I mean, right now I'm just trying to work on buying The Last of Us.
Definitely do that first. I do put The Last of Us higher than Horizon, but Horizon is up there for sure.
That's probably my top priority, and honestly, I have Detroit Become Human on disc, so I'm probably going to reinstall it and finish it, because I got halfway. I got to where, like, the cop, I think.
Horizon, or Detroit Become Human's got kind of a long story, if I remember correctly.
It really does.
That's a good game, too.
But it's so cool and unique. But anyway,
it has like 50 different endings, that game does. I got literally the best one you could get. Just out of my choices. Like, I got literally the best ending. But also, like, a really sad ending, too. I don't think there's a positive outcome at all, really.
Yeah.
But to kind of transition into the Reddit topics, so you guys ready for these?
Sure.
No.
So these are our closers. They're nothing crazy, but what was the worst gift that you ever received?
Oh. I have a couple.
Okay.
Now, I'm a more like thought that counts kind of person. Now this one, it was definitely awesome, but it would have been better if it was. So last year for Christmas, my sister bought me a BD1 controller skin, which I was like, fucking dope. That's awesome because you know me, I love Star Wars. But she bought it for the PS4 controller, and I use my Xbox way more, so I felt like it would have been better if it was for Xbox.
Yeah.
But like, nonetheless, still thought that counts, and it's fucking sick. It looks good on the PS4 controller, but definitely one of those. And then the actual worst one. Y'all remember Fantastic Four?
The newest one? Because that movie is...
The one with Michael B. Jordan or the one with Chris Evans?
The old one.
The old one?
I mean like the original old one, like Silver Surfer.
Those are
yeah, I was... shit. I was really young. I was like, I think 5 or 6 or 7. And it was my birthday. And I got the stretchy guy from Fantastic Four.
Mr. Fantastic.
Oh,
yeah.
Show so much about Fantastic Four.
I haven't watched it since I was a little kid, so I don't know. And like, we were having a big ass party, and all like the adult people were like drunk and whatever. So they all thought it'd be a great idea to just have me hold on to the fucking thing while they're all pulling on it. Keep in mind, I'm like 5 years old, so I'm barely doing anything to it. My dad fucking lets go, and right in the eye, just fucking black eye, crying on my birthday. Everybody is just like, oh my god, what happened? And then everybody's yelling at my dad, and then they're all like, oh, and that's the worst fucking gift. I never played with it after that. I think I threw it out. Worst gift ever.
You got a black eye from Mr. Fantastic, the action figure, bro. What?
Dude, it stretched out the fucking pieces. Like, I don't know. It was fucking...
Oh, shit. Alright, Pud, what's yours?
I just imagine a giant rubber hand smacking a 5-year-old in the face.
Dude, I can still feel it to this day, how bad it hurt. So bad. That must have clocked in at like 90 miles per hour. It sent me flying back. Dude, it sent me flying back into the couch. Ugh. Fuck. Thanks, Dad.
This man's has never seen another Fantastic Four movie since.
Nope, I actually legitimately have not.
Alright, Pud, what's yours?
Worst gift? I'd say it has to be tied, like, between two. One, not even that. It was just, like, a hoodie jacket thing. And I was like, okay. And then when I was told the price, I was like, this was not worth that. You should have just not. I didn't say that because, you know, obviously, I hate getting gifts.
Same. It makes me so uncomfortable.
You can't throw a gift away, because if someone finds out you threw their gift away, even if you got it 6 years ago, you still threw away someone's gift that they bought you.
Exactly.
And that's a dick move. Even if it's something you will never use again, you're still a dick for it. And the other one, I was like 13, 14, something like that. And when I was younger, I had those Bionicle Lego action figures, which they don't even make those anymore. And my nieces and nephews play with the ones that I had. And I'm like, I wish I could buy these for you so you could have the same enjoyment I did. But they're like $60 a pop, and you have to special order them.
Yeah, there a lot of the Legos and shit are like that now.
But someone had bought me a Bionicles movie, and I was like,
"Oh,
Jesus!"
That has to
it's
be
the
awful.
thought. It's the thought that counts. But I'm like 14, bro.
14 years old, you get a Bionicles movie. Yo, what?
I was like, bro, I'm a nerd, but
That's
damn.
fucking great. So my worst gift, I feel like everybody got these, and aside from the given ones that are bad, like socks and stuff, which now as an adult, dude, if somebody got me socks, I'm hyped. Like,
Same.
Right.
Please get me
Right.
socks, please. But no, my gift that I hated the most was every year, never fails, on Christmas or my birthday, whatever, I would get these box sets of like the B-rated horror movies that you find in the $5 movie bin at Walmart. Dude, every year I would get one of those, and I never watched them because they're awful. Like, I get it. I'm 8 years old and you think I don't have taste, but I do. I have taste. I know what a good movie is, and this is not it. Thank you very much. Please take it back. Of course I never said that, but I definitely never watched them. Ever. To this day.
I can just imagine you being 8 years old and you just open it and then you see like a knockoff Halloween. You're just like the avocado kid. You're like, oh, movie. Thanks.
Dude, literally, I would always just be like, oh, thank you. And then I would sit it like face side down on the table so I didn't have to fucking look at the disgrace.
Oh man.
Those were bad. Okay, so
I guess I had another one I forgot about.
what's that?
Someone bought me like season 2 of Doctor Who on disc.
Nice.
And keep in mind, I was like 15, 16, and I'm like, I know what Doctor Who is, but I literally don't know anything other than the fact that it's a TV show.
You know that person was like scrambling to get the gifts done, and they were at Walmart, and they're like, this is $5. He likes weird, nerdy shit, right? He reads books, yeah? Okay, good. We'll get him this. Guarantee the conversation went somewhere along those lines.
Looking back now, I wish I didn't even open it. Like, I didn't take the plastic off of the brand new CD disc
Dude, that's how a lot
for
of
like
that shit was.
2 years. But looking back now, I wish I would have actually tried, because like a lot of it looks somewhat entertaining. Like, I know Benedict Cumberbatch is the new Doctor Who.
He's not anymore.
And
he hasn't been for a while.
still, though, I like Benedict Cumberbatch. I might have
I
liked
do too.
that. I don't know.
So last Reddit question that I have here. What do you think 2010 to 2020 will be remembered for?
You know the Reddit meme of yes, 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 no, 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 no?
No.
There you go. You don't know that, where it's like consecutive pictures of everything going good, and then everything just starts going really bad?
No, I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, that's how I remember it. You just, yes, 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 2016, no, 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 no.
Yeah, you're kind of right, dude. Everything up to like 20... To me, everything up to 2017 was good. So like, starting in 2017 to now, it's just been a downward fucking spiral, bro.
Yeah, I mean, 2017 was like the best worst year for me, because like I saw Iron Maiden, and then everything after that just.
2017 has been the worst year of my life to this point, for sure. It gets real personal, so I won't get into it. But yeah, that's definitely been the worst year of my life.
Same.
And then
yeah.
2018 kind of sucked dick too. 2019 wasn't too bad. And 2020, personally, has been pretty good. But as a world standpoint, it's been bad.
I'd say everyone right now.
I would
Everyone
say
is so tired of 2020.
Yeah, I would say that you could ask the same question again, like, oh, what do you think will be the most remembered through 2010 and 2020? 2020 has its own history book already, so
it does, dude.
Realistically, it should just be stopped at 2019.
In terms of pop culture and like things that define this decade, what do you think those things are?
Miley Cyrus riding a wrecking ball.
Yeah, that was a pretty big deal.
The Me Too
Patriots.
movement. probably going to be something.
The Patriots, I feel like, are a defining thing of this decade.
Yes. Yes.
I feel like Call of Duty as a franchise is a very big part of this decade. Fortnite.
Fucking.
The whole Marvel franchise, like everything, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is just, that might be bigger than all of it, honestly.
Yeah, dude.
It really kicked off in 2012 after the Avengers. Like, that's when it fucking went from movie to movie.
I think the first Iron Man movie did a lot for it, but
the
Avengers catapulted it into being like the thing.
Yeah, like throwing it back to Fantastic Four, that was really the only like quote unquote Marvel movie. So like after Iron Man,
the Incredible Hulk.
I mean, yeah, but let's be honest.
And technically Howard the Duck.
Yeah, well, like I said, let's be honest. Let's be honest with ourselves.
No one's gonna count that as a Marvel movie, though. I just want to say that to be a smartass.
So yeah, I think, is there anything else that I'm missing? Because school shootings.
I would say the Warriors.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, school shootings and
public shootings.
The Warriors
bad.
Were
probably
Harambe.
Kobe passing away.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant, Harambe.
Kobe.
Paul Walker. I feel like his death is one of the things that are going to be remembered. In terms of music,
David Bowie passed away.
I don't even know who the fuck that is.
What?
No.
Stephen Hawking passing away. That one of the smartest minds in the fucking world.
I like to imagine that when he died, it was just the Windows, like, shutdown music.
That's fucked up.
That's fucked up.
That's so fucked up.
There was one year that we lost so many.
2016.
Like, musical, Chester Bennington killing himself.
That was 2017, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was 2017. I was in college.
Yeah, that was the day after I saw Iron Man.
Chris Cornell killing himself like 2 months before Chester killed himself.
I actually have a conspiracy about those two, but we'll save that for another time.
Ooh.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, they were good friends, and when Chris killed himself, it just sent Chester into a spiral.
Okay, guys, I'm assigning us a project here. It's like it's school all over again.
Motherfucker, I went to college. I served my dues.
Shut up. Next Saturday, it is our responsibility to each have a conspiracy theory ready to present.
Man, I have like a million ready to present right here, right now.
Do your research, get a good formulated plot. The goal is to convince both of us on the show, as well as anybody who watches, that your conspiracy theory is correct.
I like this. There's so many. And I'm not even just talking about the basic ones like fucking 9/11 and all this shit. I mean, like, there's some actual, like, scary conspiracies out there that
now, keep in mind, it doesn't have to be something that you actually believe. Because I have an idea that I don't actually believe, but I'm going to try to make the most convincing argument that I can.
Well, I'm down.
Pud?
Sure.
Okay.
Bro, I'm looking at a list of musicians that have died in the 2010s. Jesus fucking Christ.
There's been a lot of them. One of them, notably, well, not. I mean, if you want to go with musician, one of them, George Michael, that one took me by surprise.
I don't know who that is.
You know, George, Wham, you know, like, Wake Me Up Before You Go.
No, he doesn't know that.
No.
Okay.
If it was made before like the mid-90s, I probably.
What about Last Christmas?
No.
What about Careless Whisper?
No.
The most infamous saxophone part.
No, dude.
If you well, there's okay. I'll send you.
Okay, just because you said the most infamous saxophone part, I might recognize it.
You
The
know,
only thing we play at work is
that's a
you're not
saxophone.
you're
That
not
does-
very no, that's a
Nope.
Reeves making a saxophone sound.
Yeah, I obviously don't have a saxophone. I have drums and a
Hey,
guitar.
what do you use in a saxophone?
Your mouth.
A reeve. Get it?
All right. Well,
God,
this is
wanna
all the
punch
time
you.
I have for this podcast.
It is actually
God, I
over.
want
It's,
to punch you.
I think I think it's a little bit over an hour long. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Game Crew Podcast Rebooted, episode number 1. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe. Deuces.